So I like to have my water here. This is one of those accordion fold paint buckets. They're very handy. Here's my palette. Here's my brushes. So when I paint, I can go from water to palette to painting. I have people, students sometimes, who put the water over here, the palette here, and the painting here, and they're going cross. It's just not efficient. It's just not a good way to work. So don't do that. Boom, boom, boom. That's going to get it good for you. All right, so my initial thoughts here, do I want to do this as a wet into wet painting, where I take wet paper and then I put marks on it with a brush filled with paint. So it's wet paint on wet paper. That's a common way to do things. If you want soft edges, if you want hard edges, you're going to take wet paint on dry paper. So I think here I'm going to start off with a little bit of wet into wet. So I'm going to take a large brush. This is an Escoda number 20. It's called the Escoda Perla. It's a synthetic brush. It holds a lot of paint, but it points up well, which is a criterion you always want to make sure. This is in the Joseph Spookvich series of 3 brushes or 4 brushes. You get 3 brushes and a travel brush. This has been a very nice brush. I'm very happy with it. So I'll get this out of the way. And here we go. Once you start a watercolor painting, by the way, you have to work it while it's wet. If you let it go dry, depending on what you're doing, that can be a problem where you're not going to get the result you like. So once I start, I just try to keep my concentration going, and that's a real imperative.